possible, and of course the Biden administration, who have made this site possible and so many doses delivered. Our public health team, and Dr. Rivera is here representing them. She'll be available to answer questions, but she and the team have worked so hard and are not going anywhere, are going to continue working incredibly hard for all of this. It's because of this support that we've been able to accomplish so much in this vaccination effort. Over 77 sites throughout the community, and still counting. Last week, we announced that we reached a crucial point in our fight against this virus, and particularly our fight to get our community vaccinated. Demand hasn't just caught up with supply. Now there is more supply than there is demand. That means we have more vaccines than we have people willing to get them. Right here at NRG Park, we've got a precious resource that we can't afford to waste. In this incredible partnership between us, the state, the city, the federal government, we're able to deliver 6,000 vaccines a day. Some of the days, we've even hit 7,000 vaccines. It's one of the most efficient operations like these throughout the country, and one of the largest. And we have it right here in Harris County, in our community. Each day this site is running, lives are being saved. We want to do everything possible to make sure that when it comes to beating COVID-19, we're not leaving anything on the table, we're leaving no resource unused, and we have to make sure that this facility is running on all cylinders. Last week we announced a transition from our waitlist system to an on-demand appointment system. We did that to lower any barriers there may be for folks to sit on a wait list and wait until they're chosen. Now, when we changed it to an on-demand system, we saw a bump in appointments, but we now see these numbers dropping again. So today we're taking 2 additional steps to make it easier for people to get a vaccine right here in the heart of Harris County. Effective immediately, we are no longer requiring appointments at this massive site here at NRG. That means you can drive up, you can walk up, while the NRG vaccination site is open, and these fantastic folks will be here to accommodate you and guide you through the process, which continues to be incredibly efficient and quick. We are also changing the hours of operation to noon to 9 p.m. Now this site is going to be open from noon to 9 p.m. starting on Wednesday. The hours used to be from 8 in the morning to 5 o'clock. The idea there is to help working families, folks that can't make it between 8 and 5, and giving an opportunity for people to, again, just lower those barriers so everybody can get a vaccine. We don't want to hear of anybody who has barriers to getting vaccinated. No need to hunt around different websites. No worry about cost or need for insurance. Vaccines here are free. We have plenty available, and all you have to do is drive over here, take public transportation, get a ride. If you don't have a ride, you can contact us. You can contact the Harris County Public Health number, and we'll go pick you up. We also have vaccines throughout the community. As a reminder, we still do have an appointment system if you prefer it that way. Some folks just like the certainty, right? So if you'd like to make an appointment, you can. You can make an appointment online. And if you make the appointment, the added benefit is you can choose from the other sites we have available. That continues to be online and via phone at readyharris.org. But we want to accommodate folks who, spur of the moment, have some time, want to go get vaccinated. Almost exactly 2 months ago, Commissioner and Congressman, we were here and we stood in this site celebrating the opening of the FEMA site. In those 2 months, Harris County Public Health, the City of Houston, the state, the federal government, all working together, we have vaccinated over 500,000 people here at NRG. That is over a fifth of the vaccines that have been given in Harris County as a whole. Let's continue that. Even with all that work, only around 25% of eligible residents have been vaccinated. We've got a long way to go to herd immunity. And so it is not the time to give up. I want to give a special thank you to all the military personnel that's been working here, administering 500,000 doses, delivering health to our community. Let's continue to use that resource, that commitment that they've brought to us by taking advantage of this site. We're doing our part, they're doing their part, but now it's your turn. Please come on by. We'll see you over here at NRG. We'll now hear from Congressman Green, Commissioner Ellis. I'll repeat my remarks in Spanish, and then we'll take questions. And Dr. Rivera is available for questions as well. Congressman.
Thank you very much, Judge. It's always an honor to serve with you. I believe that this judge has done an outstanding job, not only in simply providing the sites and helping us to corral the necessary paraphernalia to have these events be successful. She has also demonstrated a kind of goodwill that causes persons to want to participate and be a part of the programs that she will allow her name to be associated with. So, Judge, I'm quite honored to be associated with this and with you. And, of course, to my very long time and good friend, Commissioner Ellis, Senator Ellis, City Councilman Ellis. He has held many positions, and in each one he has acquitted himself quite well, has done an outstanding job. I marvel at his talents. He just seems to have the unique ability to get people to see circumstances with a degree of humor. And that means something when people can take things that are sometimes not so pleasant, but take them in a very positive way, and he has the ability to do this. So thank you, Commissioner. Friends, I'd just like to make a couple of comments about how we find ourselves at this point in our history. As you know, when President Biden took office, he was very much committed to making sure we got shots in arms, and he wanted to do it not in the thousands, but in the millions. And to this end, he not only has helped us in Congress to get money available for sites such as this. This site is one, and I wanted to make sure I got the number right. We spent about $20 billion totally on the rescue plan to produce these kinds of sites and to do some other things as well. But not only did he help us to get the money through Congress and the bill to his desk for him to sign, he came to Houston. There are not many places in the country that can claim the President of the United States came to their city to encourage people to take advantage of the opportunity to get the vaccinations. I don't want to let the President down. It means something that the President came here at our request, and it means something that he stood right here on these grounds and made an appeal to us. So I'm appealing to people, please, let's honor the President's request and the hard work that he has done to allow us to get to this point. I say to people, with more than 500,000 people having lost their lives to the virus, some 560,000, and the number of people who have had unfortunate circumstances with the vaccine being 0.002% of the people who have taken the vaccine, I think when you balance the benefits versus the detriments, it just seems to me that the benefits far outweigh the risk. So let's remember this. There's a risk, yes, but the benefits are just enormous and the risks are just minuscule. Finally, I have lost friends to this virus. One of my friends I went to law school with, we were housemates. His grandbaby came over to visit. Hugs, good to see the babies. Before the vaccine was available, he acquired the virus and he made his transition in the hospital. Another friend who has helped me with my congressional career, doing quite well, robust, acquired the virus, made his transition as well. This virus still takes lives, and we ought to be mindful of the fact that not only do we protect ourselves when we are vaccinated, we also protect the people that we love and that we care for, because we can pass this virus on even when we have been vaccinated. So I'm appealing to people to, one, let's not let the president down, one. Two, let's take this vaccine seriously and make sure that we protect ourselves and others. And three, let's do this so that we can get our economy back up to full speed, full steam, if you will. Because once we are vaccinated to the extent that we have achieved herd immunity, then we can open up. Then I won't have on a mask. But until then, I'm wearing my mask. I'm not giving up the mask. I appreciate what others may think. They can think things of me that they might call fatuous, if you will. But I firmly believe that I'm still protecting somebody by wearing this mask. So, Judge, thank you again, Commissioner, and Doctor, it was an honor to have a brief visit with you, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you, everybody.
I'm Rodney Ellis, and Congressman, speaking of humor, I think Judge Hidalgo has figured out how to shorten my speeches, have them in the sun. I want to thank Judge Hidalgo for the great job she has done throughout this process. She has focused on the science and not the politics, and it has not been an easy thing to do. Congressman, thank you and your colleagues for the federal support you have given us and for delivering the President of the United States to come here to the site. The message today is really fairly simple and straightforward. We've gotten a lot of shots in arms, but not enough. With the judge's leadership, we got an extension on how long this site will be here. In fact, we'll probably even be able to make the case to keep it even longer if people use it. Judge Hidalgo and all of us on Commissioners Court have shown the ability to adapt. Early on, you had to come in the morning. The numbers are going down, so she's changing the rules. You can come at night. Early on, you needed to drive. Now you can walk up. You can ride your bike up. If you have an idea that we haven't thought about, give it to us. We were standing there in the sun, going through a couple ideas, trying to figure out what can we do to get more people to show up. We're proud that 500,000 people have come to this site, but we have almost 5 million people in this county. So we have a lot more to do. So this is a clarion call and appeal to everybody. If you know somebody who hasn't gotten a shot, bug them, encourage them, give them a ride, give them a Metro pass, walk over here with them, whatever it takes. We're a long ways from herd immunity, and we all want to take these masks off and get back to what's normal. So Judge Hidalgo, thank you, and thank you, Congressman Green.
Thank you, Commissioner, Congressman. En español, quería primero darle las gracias al congresista Green, al comisionado Ellis, por todos sus esfuerzos a través de esta crisis. Han sido los primeros en apoyarnos a salvar vidas, a traer los recursos necesarios, y obviamente la doctora Rivera está aquí representando nuestro Departamento de Salud Pública, y ella ha sido pues una luchadora en cuanto a la batalla contra este virus. Quiero darle las gracias también a la administración Biden, al Estado y a todos los miembros de nuestra delegación al Congreso. Todos ellos han trabajado por hacer posible lo que vemos hoy día aquí, esta sede de vacunaciones de FEMA. Gracias a eso hemos vacunado muchísimas personas, no solo aquí, sino en 77 sedes a través del condado. Pero hemos llegado a un momento de cambio. Llegamos a un punto crítico la semana pasada en nuestros esfuerzos a vacunar a la población. Nuestro suministro no solo ha cumplido con la demanda. En este momento tenemos más vacunas disponibles de personas que quieren ponerse la vacuna. Aquí en el NRG Park, en nuestra sede más grande de vacunación, tenemos un tesoro. Un recurso que no podemos desperdiciar, un recurso que nos permite vacunar más de 6,000 personas al día. Este ha sido una de las sedes de vacunación más eficientes del país, más grandes del país. Estamos vacunando 6,000 personas al día. Tenemos la capacidad de vacunar hasta 7,000 algunos días hemos llegado. Pero a partir de la semana pasada vemos menos deseos de las personas a venir acá. Entonces, por eso vamos a seguir haciendo todo lo posible para tomar ventaja de este recurso. Cada día que opera este sitio de vacunación, estamos salvando vidas, estamos ofreciéndole más salud a nuestra comunidad, estamos trabajando hacia el día en el cual no vamos a tener que ya usar mascarillas, no vamos a tener que preocuparnos ya más por este virus. Todo eso depende de nuestra tasa de vacunación y el progreso que podemos hacer, los grandes pasos que podemos tomar en una operación tan grande como es esta. El viernes anunciamos una transición de nuestro sistema de lista de espera a un sistema de disponibilidad inmediata, donde podía sacar la cita inmediatamente por teléfono o por internet. Vimos un incremento en el número de registros, pero esta semana nuevamente estamos viendo participación limitada. Por eso estamos tomando 2 pasos esta semana para facilitar la vacunación de todo miembro de esta comunidad. Inmediatamente ya no vamos a requerir citas para venir a ponerse la vacuna. Eso significa que puede conducir, venir acá en su automóvil, puede venir a pie, puede venir en bicicleta, tomar transporte público. En cuanto llegue, se le recibirá. Hay personas disponibles que hablan español, le van a informar a dónde ir y simplemente se puede vacunar en ese momento, cuando a usted le quede conveniente, sin necesidad de sacar cita. El segundo paso que estamos tomando es cambiar las horas de operación. Ahora estaremos funcionando aquí en el sitio de NRG de mediodía a 9 de la noche, todos los días. Eso significa que aquellas personas que trabajan, que no pueden venir de 8 a 5, ahora podrán venir en la noche. Espero que ese sea un recurso que facilite aún más la participación de todos. Eso sucederá a partir de este miércoles. Ya no hay requerimiento de registrarse, no hay necesidad de ir a buscar vacunas por todos lados, a tocar en varias puertas, a ver qué doctor, qué entidad, qué farmacia le ofrece la vacuna. Puede venir aquí a NRG cuando le quede conveniente y ponerse su vacuna. Las vacunas son gratis, no se le pide seguro médico, no se le pide ninguna prueba de ciudadanía. Simplemente en cuanto llegue se le va a pedir su nombre y una manera de contactarlo para ofrecerle su segunda dosis. No tenga ninguna preocupación en cuanto a su estatus migratorio. Muchísimos inmigrantes han venido a ponerse la vacuna aquí en nuestra sede de NRG. Me he puesto la vacuna yo también hace un par de semanas. Acompáñeme, venga a ponerse la vacuna. Si usted ya se puso la vacuna, invite a sus amigos, a sus familias, tráigalos aquí a NRG. Si quiere venir y ponerse la vacuna, pero no tiene carro, no puede tomar un taxi, le queda inconveniente, denos una llamada. Si nos llama, nos dice que no le es posible venir, nosotros vamos y lo recogemos y lo traemos aquí a que se ponga la vacuna. Recuerden que las comunidades en general se están vacunando más que nuestra comunidad latina. No podemos quedarnos atrás. Igual, si usted es una de las personas que le gusta tener cita, le gusta ir a la fija, puede igual sacar la cita. Puede ir a readyharris.org, llamar al 832-927-8787, hablan español, y sacar su cita. La ventaja es que si saca cita, puede sacar cita tanto aquí como en las demás sedes que tenemos a través del condado. Pero si no quiere cita, simplemente preséntese, se le pone la vacuna sin costo alguno ni preguntas. Recuerde también que a medida que utilicemos esta sede, vamos a poder tomar ventaja de toda esta cantidad de vacunas disponibles. Hace 2 meses estuvimos aquí en este sitio con el congresista, con el comisionado, celebrando la apertura de la sede de NRG. En esos 2 meses hemos vacunado más de 500,000 de residentes. Es más del 20% de las vacunas que se han administrado en el condado Harris. Se han administrado aquí donde estamos el día de hoy. Pero aún con todo eso, apenas un 25% de la población elegible se ha vacunado. Tenemos que llegar a 70, 80% para ya no tenernos que preocupar por este virus. Entonces, no podemos simplemente no utilizar ese recurso tan grande y tan eficaz. Usémoslo para no perderlo. Vengan, vacúnense, nosotros estamos haciendo todo lo posible. Aquí los vemos en NRG. Cuando a usted le quede conveniente, venga y póngase la vacuna. Gracias. We'll take questions.
Yeah, Judge Hidalgo, I have a couple of questions. First of all, last week the state said that they didn't see as many people coming out to these mega sites because the vaccines were more accessible to local clinics and local pharmacies. Are you saying that maybe that's not the case in Harris County?
There's so many layers to the reason why demand is down now compared to supply. Some of it may be the news about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I know that turned some people off. Some people only wanted the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, so they're waiting to see if it'll be, the pause will be lifted. There's a lot of misinformation that's spreading online. We've all seen it. Some of it is also that it's easy. The folks that were willing to drive somewhere already drove and already came here, and so it's easier for them to have community sites. We're coming at it from every direction. We've got over 77 sites available for the vaccine throughout Harris County. We are ramping up our vaccination inside the communities as well. The challenge here is we've got tens of thousands of Pfizer vaccines, and those can only be given here. We cannot take them to the community sites because they require cold storage and they require mixing with pharmaceutical precision before we administer them. And so that is why we want to lower barriers to access to this site and really make it as easy as possible for people to come. And I'm hopeful that the community will take advantage of it because there are still just so many folks that haven't been vaccinated. So we have to look at it from all angles. But until we receive more Moderna vaccine, we can't grow our community vaccination operations. We have to grow these operations. But we are doing dozens of community sites as well.
Can we revisit the topic on the Harris County threat level? You know, now the vaccines are becoming more accessible. What needs to happen to lower that from a red to orange or yellow?
The Harris County threat level is comprised of several thresholds that are available online at readyharris.org, and it's very clear: the hospitalizations, new cases each day, the percentage of the ICU population that's COVID positive, the trend in which our hospitalizations are going, the positivity rate. Once we hit those thresholds, and we will hit them as more and more people get vaccinated, then we'll be at a place to lower the threat level. The threat level is not something I decide on. It's something that follows those parameters which we've drawn up with epidemiologists. We just had an epidemiologist from the UT of School of Public Health take another look at them and verify that they do work, that when truly the community has gotten to a place where we can let down our guard, those indicators will reflect it. But the fact that the indicators are not there yet just tells us that we're not in a position yet to let down our guard. Alarmingly, we are now seeing a flattening out of those indicators and some increase. The positivity rate has ticked up, the ICU population has ticked up, the cases have ticked up. That's what's happened every time, about a month and a half after there's been a reopening. And sure enough, we've hit a month and a half since the reopening, and not only did the levels flatten, but they flattened at the highest level we've ever seen all year, and now they're beginning to tick up. Now, it's a race against time. It's a race against the variants. If more and more people get vaccinated, that climb's not going to be steep. Those hospitals won't have a challenge. But we've seen Michigan, we've seen other countries, Israel, for example, had higher vaccination rates than we did, and they still had their hospitals in a crisis. So we're not out of the woods, but we can be out of the woods if we get vaccinated. That's why we're doing everything possible to where we do get past that threat level, to where we don't see another climb, to where the predictions about a possible climb are wrong. I want to be wrong. That's why I'm doing everything possible to get people vaccinated. But it's in all of our hands. Get the vaccine if you haven't. And if you have, tell your friends. That's the most persuasive way, the way to get the community vaccinated for those of us who've had the vaccine, to tell our friends and family that it's safe, that it's effective, and encourage them to go get the vaccine as well. Antes de la semana pasada, diariamente, la meta era vacunar alrededor de 6,000 personas al día. Estábamos vacunando mínimo 6,000, algunos días inclusive cruzamos los 7,000. La semana pasada empezamos a ver alrededor de 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. El fin de semana otra vez estuvimos entre los 2 y 3,000. Eso significa que estamos dejando vacunas sobre la mesa sin usar, en una operación que es muy eficiente. Entonces tenemos que ponernos listos, apurarnos a venir a utilizar esta sede de vacunación. Por ahora, el gobierno federal se ha comprometido a mantener este recurso aquí en el condado Harris hasta el fin del próximo mes. Pero si ellos ven que no se está vacunando la gente y no estamos tomando ventaja de este recurso, pues tendría todo el sentido que simplemente empacaran todo y se fueran. Y eso es lo que me preocupa, porque este es el recurso más eficiente que tenemos para poder vacunar a la población. Si perdemos esta sede, va a ser más lento el progreso, va a tomar más tiempo llegar al punto en el cual ya sobrepasamos este virus. Todavía tenemos que vacunar, la mayoría de la población no se ha vacunado completamente aún. Entonces, por eso los invito a todos y especialmente a los latinos. Somos nosotros los que no nos estamos vacunando al porcentaje tan alto como otras comunidades. Entonces, vengan a ponerse la vacuna. Yo me he puesto la mía hace 2-3 semanas y espero que me acompañen. Realmente es un alivio entero y es más fácil que nunca. Es más fácil que ir al dentista, más fácil que ir a ordenar una pizza. No duele, no le cuesta nada, no le piden seguro. Simplemente venga, es facilísimo en su automóvil, si quiere venir a pie, lo que le quede fácil, y le ponemos su vacuna y luego lo contactamos para su segunda dosis. Recuerde, estamos ofreciendo la vacuna Pfizer aquí.
Same question, but in English, how will the lack of demand for the vaccine affect the NRG vaccination center?
Historically at this site, and we've been able to do that, I'm told, goes beyond and for longer than most of the sites around the country, as we were able to consistently vaccinate 6,000 people in this site. Some days we even crossed 7,000 people. This past week, though, demand went down, and we began seeing 2,000 people, 3,000 people. Over the weekend and even today, we're seeing very low numbers that show us we're leaving vaccines on the table. We are leaving this resource unused. The federal government has committed to staying here with us through to the end of next month. But of course, if they see that the community is not using this resource, they would be in their rights to pack up and leave. And so that is why I am inviting the community to come help us push through and use this incredibly efficient tool that we have. If we lose this resource, what's left is not as efficient, doesn't deal with as large numbers, and so it's going to take us longer to get to herd immunity. The majority of the population in Harris County still has not been fully vaccinated. And so we've got work to do with those folks. Obviously, they'll be here until we deliver the second doses. But I hope we can make the case for them to stay through the full time and beyond that by showing the demand. And that's why we want to make it as easy as possible for folks to come and get vaccinated.
You mentioned something about leaving vaccines on the table. Does that mean that vaccines are going to be people are not showing up, or vaccines just being pulled out as people show up?
We have vaccines, the way it works with the Pfizer is you have to keep them in cold storage. And then right before you administer them, you have to mix them very, very, very carefully. So we don't do that until we know that folks are here. We don't take them out of the cold storage. We don't mix them and prepare them until we know that the folks are here to take the vaccine. So what I mean when I say we're leaving vaccines on the table is simply we have the ability to administer a lot more vaccines than we're administering. Perhaps I should say that we're leaving vaccines in the freezer. They're just, they're not being used.
A question from Univision. ¿Cómo la falta de la demanda de las vacunas ha influenciado esta decisión de abrir las vacunas a todo el mundo? ¿Y cómo afectarán las operaciones en el estado?
La falta de demanda para vacunas sí nos ha dicho que tenemos que cambiar las operaciones. Primero, la prioridad siempre ha sido la equidad, ha sido la eficiencia y también el que sea un sistema justo. Es por eso que teníamos una lista de espera, para que no hubiera ventaja para aquellas personas que conocían a alguien, pues, que les podía decir a qué hora se abría la sede de vacunación, para que aquellas personas que no tienen acceso al Internet no pues estuvieran en desventaja. Pero ahora hemos visto que aquellas personas que realmente querían ponerse la vacuna o que tienen alguna conexión especial, bueno, ya se la pusieron. Ahora tenemos es que eliminar esos obstáculos, esas barreras. Igual estamos trabajando en la equidad, yendo a las comunidades, más de 77 sedes, pero tenemos que facilitar el uso de esta sede de vacunación. Entonces ahí hemos cambiado las operaciones, es por eso que ya no hay lista de espera, nos sentimos muy cómodos, muy seguros de que al abrir esta sede no vamos a ver pues retrasos ni grandes líneas, simplemente esperamos ver una demanda pues continua, que se siga moviendo los automóviles, las personas que vengan a pie a recibir las vacunas. Es por eso también que estamos cambiando las horas de operación. Nos hemos dado cuenta que hay personas pues que no pueden venir entre 8 y 5, entonces igual por eso desde siempre hemos operado los fines de semana, pero ahora entre semana también estamos operando por hasta bien entrada la noche, y pues nos ayuda a que cae el sol más tarde, y vamos a seguir viendo qué más podemos hacer para que la gente pues quiera venir y ponerse la vacuna. Queremos que no haya ya excusa, que sea tan conveniente como sea posible, y esto pues es lo más fácil que lo podemos hacer.
Has FEMA said, hey, if we don't get this number of people daily, then we're going to close up the site?
We're in constant communication with our federal partners. They've been incredible. The state as well. Remember, this is a joint with not just FEMA, but TDM. And, they're very supportive, and they're supportive of this change, and they're helping us figure out how can we take advantage of the supply that is available. I've not had a conversation with, say, if you don't hit this, we're going to leave. But as an executive myself, of course, there's a need for these vaccines everywhere. And so I see it as a responsibility from all of us. It's not about TDM and FEMA anymore. It's about each resident in this county to make sure we are making the case for why we need this site here, and that we're taking advantage of this resource that not every community got. So let's try it. We've lowered all the barriers. We're going to think of any other creative solutions to encourage people to come. But really, the most powerful folks in this effort is not me or the commissioner or the congressman. It is each person in this community, particularly those of you who've gotten the vaccine already. You telling your friend, hey, get vaccinated. That's how we're going to get through COVID. That's how we can enjoy the summer, the fall without concerns. Go back to how life was before. Get them over. Get them over to get the vaccine. Turn right on Main to come into NRG, and you'll be helped immediately to get your vaccine.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Judge Hidalgo, for having me here today. Thank you, Commissioner Ellis. Thank you, Congressman Green, for being with us today. This is extremely important. As Judge Hidalgo has mentioned over and over, this is our chance to get vaccinated. Over the last couple of months, everyone was waiting for this moment, right? We were all signing up on different wait lists. There are people that were searching multiple websites at a time. You're waking up at random hours. And now for the first time, we have the ability to vaccinate pretty much anyone who comes to this site, and we're trying to make the barriers as low as possible. If we don't do that, what we're going to see is we're going to see an increase of cases again. We're going to see an increase in the positivity rate. We're going to see an increase in hospitalizations, and we're already seeing that right now in our community, and we're already seeing it across the state of Texas. And we're definitely already seeing them across the country. So what we're seeing in Michigan can definitely happen here in Harris County, and we're starting, unfortunately, as Judge Hidalgo mentioned, we're starting at a higher level, at a higher plateau than we did for any other surge. So if anything were to start increasing again, we're already not starting at the best place. We're not starting at a low level. And so we urge the community to come out here, come out and get vaccinated. We're trying to make it as easy as possible, because if not, the consequences are large, and we're not out of this pandemic, unfortunately. Sí. Ahorita nosotros tenemos la oportunidad de vacunar a todas las personas en el condado que quieren venir a vacunarse. Desafortunadamente todavía estamos en la pandemia, el COVID-19 todavía está con nosotros. Y si se acuerdan, en los últimos meses todos estábamos queriendo vacuna. Hay muchas personas que se tenían que meter a muchos sitios de web para buscar vacuna, tenían que ir a muchos diferentes lugares para buscar vacuna, pero ahora por fin tenemos la oportunidad que si usted se quiere vacunar, puede venir acá, se la ponen gratis, la acomodamos como quieran y ya no tiene que estar en esa espera de búsqueda. Si no hacemos eso, si no nos vacunamos todos, desafortunadamente vamos a ver que van a subir los casos, va a subir la positividad otra vez, van a subir las hospitalizaciones y eso ya lo estamos viendo. Ya lo estamos viendo en nuestra comunidad un poco, lo estamos viendo a través de todo el estado y lo estamos viendo en todo el país. Lo que está pasando en otros estados como en Michigan definitivamente puede pasar aquí en nuestra comunidad y eso es lo que no queremos. Y ahorita sabemos qué es lo que podemos hacer. Nos podemos poner a todos los que somos sobre la edad de 16 años, todos nos podemos poner la vacuna y todos tenemos que ser responsables no solo por nosotros, pero por nuestros amigos, nuestra familia y nuestra comunidad. Y especialmente nosotros, la comunidad latina, que ha estado tan afectada por este virus. Todos hemos tenido familiares que han muerto por este virus, desafortunadamente, amigos. Nosotros tenemos esa oportunidad de protegernos a todos nosotros mismos. Yes, so I'm Dr. Maria Rivera. I'm the Medical Director for Nutrition Chronic Disease Prevention and one of the alternate local health authorities for Harris County.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So you've been here a while? You were here already?
Yes, but I've only been here since July.
Where'd you come in?
Stanford? Yeah, so I'm a pediatrician by training, but also train in preventive medicine and public health.
Did you live here before?